Hey, this is Dr. Barry. In this video, let's discuss something you may have heard that the ketogenic diet is a fad diet. It's a new diet. It's not based on anything. It's just something that someone thought up and it's going to come and go just like all the other fad diets. You remember the cabbage soup diet and other fad diets like the American Diabetes Association diet and Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig. It's just like them. There's no difference. And I want to talk about that with you for a few minutes and help you understand how that might not be true and what the truth behind this actually is. It's my contention, it's my belief that the ketogenic way of eating is not a fad diet. It's actually the oldest diet that human beings have ever eaten. It is the ancestrally appropriate human diet that we've been eating for thousands of years. Now, if you know anybody who's worried that keto is a fad or that it's not based on any common sense or ancestral research, archaeology, anthropology, then please share this video with them. Share the conversation with them because they need to understand that this is not just some new thing that someone thought up. This has been around for a long time. Now, let's start out talking about a fad diet that's been around for the last 50 or 60 years called the standard American diet. It's actually been supported by the federal government. It's been supported by big food. Even big pharma loves the standard American diet. It's only been around for the last 50 or 60 years. You can remember when the food pyramid and my plate, and before that, the food wheel. All these things came from the federal government, from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And these things were to sell lots of produce, lots of grain, lots of stuff that farmers grow. And I love farmers. Some of my very best friends are farmers. But what I want to advocate for you is to eat the ancestrally appropriate diet for you, the diet that's going to cause the least inflammation, the least disease, the least chance of obesity and type 2 diabetes. That's the diet I want you to eat. And you can see if you graph when we started eating the standard American diet, you can see the epidemics of autoimmune diseases start to skyrocket. Type 2 diabetes, obesity, arthritis, uh, prostate enlargement, all these things started to go up right as we started to eat the standard American diet. And they continue today. And so my contention is that the biggest, most dangerous fad diet is the 6 to 11 servings of whole grains that we are told that we should eat every day. The 5 to 10 cups of vegetables we're told to eat every day. The multiple servings of fruit, drink lots of skim milk. All of these things are a fad. Human beings have never done these things before in our history. Okay. Now, most of this is based on processed food because we live in a modern society. We're busy, we have jobs, we have lives, we have to do things. We don't have time to slave over a stove all day, nor do we want to. And so all of these things are ready made in a box, in a bag, ready for you to throw in the microwave or in some boiling water. And then you have a ready made meal full of nutrition that is supposed to nourish your body. No, these are food-like products that come from the factory. They don't provide you with any meaningful nutrition. All they provide you with is lots of carbohydrates, highly processed carbohydrates, and they provide you with lots of inflammation, lots of blood sugar, and lots of high insulin levels. That's what they supply you with. They don't really give you the nutrition that your body is hungry for. And so that's the fad that's been going on for the last 50 years. Over the last 100 years, we've had access to factory produced food. And anytime you create a food like product in the laboratory or in the factory, it's going to have less nutrition by definition than real food. Okay, there's just no way. And I would love it if we could come up with some keto product that was full of whole food and whole nutrition. But anytime you try to turn food into a product, you slash the nutrition and you increase the chance of inflammation. And so for the last 100 years, the fad has been, oh, you don't want to cook like grandma did. You don't want to slave over the stove. You don't want to eat yucky organ meats and vegetables. You don't want to do that. Just eat this powder, eat this bar, drink this shake, all those things, because corporations make billions of dollars when you do that. They love that. Their board of directors is very thankful to you that you eat these products, but that doesn't mean that it's the right thing for your health. What have human beings been eating for the last several thousand years? What have we been eating? So we've been farming grain for about the last 10 or 11,000 years, at least to some degree. That doesn't mean that we were having 6 to 11 servings a day of grain. It just means we were able to farm it, and at least some small percentage of our diet came from grain. But even 10,000 years ago, the majority of our diet, if we had our choice, came from fatty meat. And then we'd eat some veg if we wanted to or needed to. And then if we were starving, we would eat grains. If we were starving, we would eat tubers, things that grow into the ground. But if we had our choice, we've always wanted fatty meat and a little bit of veg. And so I would postulate that that is the diet that human beings are supposed to eat. The reason we chose that anytime that we got a chance, the reason that we drove very large fatty meat animals to extinction by hunting them was not because we were just greedy, mean carnivores. It's because that's the food that our brain and our bodies needed. And so when you look at it like that, it becomes very easy to understand that the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the American Diabetes Association, these guys have lobbyists in Washington. And the big food corporations have lobbyists that they pay millions of dollars a year to convince you, to convince the mass media, to convince the federal government that lots of servings of whole grains, lots of servings of skim milk, lots of servings of vegetable oils every day are really, really good for human beings, or at least not that bad. And so they're able to get FDA approval, and they're able to get on the food pyramid, or now my plate. And then they're able to get guidelines put out by these big regulatory organizations that say saturated fats are bad for you and vegetable oils are good for you, even though there's not a shred of evidence or common sense to back any of that up. So I would say it's time to understand that keto is a rediscovery, not a fad. The ketogenic way of eating is the appropriate human diet. And if you're not eating that, then you are in fact eating a fad diet. Now, as you can tell from this video, I don't get a penny from big food, big pharma, or big medicine. I don't work for them. I work for you. And if you'd like to help me have more time to make videos like this, you can click on my Patreon link. It's right down below. You can sign up quickly and throw a buck or two my way so that I have more time to make more videos just like this. Follow me on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm even on Twitter. Reach out to me and let's start a conversation about your health and how to rediscover the diet that you're supposed to be eating. This is Dr. Barry. I'll see you next time.